clarify the question one more time. So they're not asking for funding for the nightlife. They just offer an evening event, right? So you're a nonprofit organization, you're requesting funding for something that is fitting this revised criteria, but your nonprofit organization also has activities that are designed for an older audience. Because I offer programs for older audiences, do I still qualify to apply for funding and receive funding?
I believe the rule says all activities of the venue or the Performing Arts Center should fall under compliance with 847.
So that means, let's just say I'm an arts organization and I do a science night, an evening event, an SNL type of event with comedy, and it's not appropriate for children to be there. Because I offer that programming, I no longer qualify for any state funding, even if I'm applying for a child-centered program.
That is correct. Or if we identify that something did happen, we could pull back the funding.
So how is that not censoring that organization's free speech, even if the speech that they're practicing is not publicly funded?
Because this is the appropriation of money. It is a grant. It is not an entitlement. So this is no First Amendment or free speech implications.
But you're not
I'm happy to have the First Amendment and free speech argument or conversation with you. This is appropriation of money. It is taxpayer money. It is a grants program. It is not an entitlement. And that's part of the problem, is that I think it became viewed as an entitlement, that people were entitled to this money. And one of the complaints that I heard as traveling the state, meeting with museums and meeting with grantees and applicants, was that if your organization has to rely solely on state money to exist, you have a problem.
Respectfully, Secretary, that's not.
All right, time out. We're gonna go back and go through the chair now.
Thank you, Chair.
You're recognized, Rep. Eskamani.
Thank you, Chair. Respectfully, that's not what's happening. They're raising money through alternative programs. They're not reliant 100% on state funding.
Some of them are.
Chair?
We're gonna go through the chair, Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. And so by restricting an organization from being able to even qualify for state funding and censoring their alternative programs, explain to me where that idea came from. It doesn't seem like it came through opinions of rulemaking. It did not come from the legislature. So why are you establishing that criteria and leading to an entire organization having to shift what they do and how they raise money and how they participate in their community and how they express themselves? Where did that idea and concept come from, and how is it appropriate?
Secretary, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Representative Eskamani, you and I served together. This is your 8th session. You understand how the appropriations process works. There can be, those groups can still come to you and file for a member project. This is for a arts and culture grants program. We have to administer a grants program that's widely distributed throughout the state to the widest possible audience. So no one's being denied the ability to have their project funded if the legislature is the appropriating body. You all decide what money gets spent. I have a law that I have to follow. I'm giving rulemaking authority. That has to be in comportment with the rest of Florida law. That is where that idea came from, is so that this money that is appropriate has nothing to do with First Amendment. It has nothing to do with deciding what is art and what's not art. It has to do with the expenditure of money. That is your purview. That is what you get to decide to do.
All right, further questions, members?